I formally welcome all the participants to AUT Genesis 2023, the first international case conference of the AMITI University Tashkent campus. And we are proud to share that the conference has been organized in association with the Case Center UK. And some of the best of the cases in today's presentation will be recommended on the recommendation of the session chairs to the Case Center UK. Although there will be certain more formalities, some more additions and deletions on the recommendations of the session chair, which might have to be considered in the cases before we send them to the case center. But today's presentations are equally important. So I once again welcome all the participants, and it's my great pleasure and honor to present you one of our session chair, who is Dr. Samar Sarabhai, who is Professor Marketing, Jaipuria Institute of Management, Jaipur, and Dean Academics, Jaipuria Institute of Management, Jaipur. Dr. Samar Sarabhai is a doctorate in retailing and marketing in MBA in marketing, having more than 26 years of experience with a blend of experience in corporate with companies like Redington India Limited, HCL Infosystems as profit center head. He has led sales team while in corporate with stellar results. Dr. Sarabhai has worked as head of the department with Tapme School of Business, Manipal University, Jaipur for 2 straight terms. He has been part of a 3-year exhaustive leadership program called Smile by People Business. He has also taught middle-level working executives at ICFI Dubai for 2 semesters and trained DGM and officers of SBI and Punjab National Bank professionals from Genpact non-for-profit organizations in the field of sales and customer experience management. Dr. Sarabhai has conducted workshops on outcome-based education at various universities and colleges of repute. He has successfully guided 2 doctoral candidates and published in Scopus and ABDC category A and B journals. We welcome you, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation as session chair for our conference.
Honor is mine. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We also welcome Professor Dr. Alka Maurya, who is professor with AMITI International Business School, AMITI University, Noida, India. She is a computer science graduate and has done her master's in international business from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, New Delhi, and PhD in international business from Jivaji University, Gwalior, India. She has over 26 years of experience in teaching, research, and consulting. During her tenure, she initiated and successfully launched several new projects. At AIBS, she launched undergraduate programs in international business, 3 research journals of the institution, and is engaged in curriculum development to integrate best business practices in management curriculum in international business. During her last assignment with the Plastic Export Promotion Council as Deputy Director, she worked on a number of projects for promoting exports of plastic products from India. She led many delegations of plastic exporters to explore opportunities in foreign market. Before joining the council, she was working with NCTI, which is National Center of Trade Information, and UN designated trade point in India, where she was associated with various projects from Department of Commerce, Export Promotion Councils, Commodity Boards, etc. She is invited as a speaker resource person for various international national conferences and seminars in area of international business. She has published several books and research papers, case studies in her area for specialization. Teaching is her passion, and she is shaping young minds to take up challenges in the dynamic corporate environment. We welcome you, ma'am. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation as a session chair for this conference.
Thank you, Dr. Rajneesh. The pleasure is all mine.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. All right. So the schedule of presentation has been shared with all the authors. I would request the case ID 001. The author is Yashug. If Yashug is present, he can present. Otherwise, we move to the next case, which is by Dr. Satyendra Pratap Singh and Mishika Agarwal. Dr. Satyendra? Dr. Satyendra?
We are present over
there. Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, sir. So we welcome you to the conference, Dr. Satyendra and Mishika Agarwal, ma'am. I would request you to start your presentation. So you have 10 minutes for the presentation of the case, and all the best to you.
Thank you so much.
Mishika, can you share the screen, please?
Yeah.
Honorable session chairs, other dignitaries, and other honorable members present in the session. A very good afternoon to all of you. Is the case visible? Is the
Yes.
PPT visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah. So we are here to present our case, and this case, let me start with the brief background, how this case was written and why this case was written. First of all, we are two authors, me, Dr. Satyendra Pratap Singh. I work as a professor in Alliance School of Business, and one of my brightest students, Mishika. Both of us have worked on this, and it has come out as a case study, and we are still working on it and developing it as a larger case. So let me give you the background how this was started. I mean, I keep on conducting MDPs and FDPs on this topic, that is investment planning and personal financial planning. So there I come across various investors, and many of them, they make mistakes. And these mistakes turn out to be blunders because it's ultimately the money involved, and they lose a lot of money. So I interviewed many such people, and through their interviews, some common mistakes came out and some common way of operation came out. And based on those interviews, this case has been developed. Of course, the person whom we have taken here is artificial. The name given to him is Amit. But then this story is real, and this is the story for many of the people that I have met in my life. So with this, let me start.
Dr. Singh, I'm really sorry to interrupt you for a minute. Dr. Rajneesh, can you also please tell us what are the time limits to be adhered to? How many minutes are we giving to each presenter?
10 minutes for each presentation, please.
And question answer?
Question answers, maybe we can spend another 2-3 minutes, ma'am.
Fine, okay.
Okay.
And who's keeping time? Who is keeping track of time? Are we supposed
I'm keeping, ma'am. I'm moderating the session, so I'll keep the track of the time.
Right. Okay, thank you. And you will give them a buzz after
Yes,
minutes
I
or
will
so?
do that. I will do
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ma'am, as far as our presentation goes, we will keep track of our time and we'll finish well before time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So let us start. I'll quickly read out the abstract. So as I said, investment in stocks is highly rewarding, but at the same time, it carries a lot of risk. And that is why it becomes important for all the investors, those who are planning to invest or those who are investing, to learn the concepts, tools, and models related to investment management. And at the same time, it requires commitment, discipline, and patience on the part of investors. This is case study, as I said, has been developed with the objective of teaching basic concepts of investing. And this case is an ideal case, I feel, for subject known as security analysis and portfolio management. This case talks about the basic concepts and the models and the tools, and it also includes calculating them and applying them. Let us go ahead. So what are the teaching goals? This case has been developed keeping in mind certain teaching goals. The first one is to make the learners comfortable about the basic terminologies of investing, the initial concepts and the tools of investing, the mistakes that common investors make while investing and how these mistakes can be corrected. And as it is a case of finance, so calculations and data collection is an important part of the case. So it has got a lot of data, and the purpose of that data is to calculate important parameters that help us in taking wise investment decisions. When I say wise investment decision, it means how to choose these stocks and which stocks at what point of time should be selected for the purpose of investment. And finally, and probably the most important one is to come out with the right approach for investing. With this, I'll stop here only, and I'll invite Mishika to carry it forward. Yes, Mishika, please go ahead.
Good afternoon to the August gathering. So good afternoon to the August gathering. So I will be starting up with the case, but before starting, just like my co-author sir mentioned, that it is very important for us to choose the right share. So in this presentation, we will be talking mostly about choosing the right share and making informed decisions regarding it. So we have taken Amit as our person who who is going to present our case study ahead. So basically, Amit was from a lower middle class family, and he was a very ambitious person. And from the early age, he has seen financial difficulties. So he has seen his family struggle. Therefore, he was always had a mindset to achieve more and dream more about. So because of which he was a very studious and dedicated person. He backed scholarship, and recently he got a job in multinational company in Bangalore, which was a very big move for him. Then coming from a humble background, Amit achieved quite a lot and his dream got bigger. Although he was a brilliant engineer and an excellent marketer, but he was not very good with when it comes to the functioning of shares and stock market. So as I talked about, his ambitions got bigger. So his basic ambitions were very tiny, like to pay off his education loans, take a house for himself. Though he was earning a good amount of salary, but he wanted to create wealth over a period of time. So because of which he thought of starting investment plan. So initially he was investing 40% of his salary in regular basis, which includes 80% in the savings for National Stock Exchange and Bombay Stock Exchange, and remaining 20% he thought of keeping it as a fixed deposit and as a risk-free return.
All right, you have
But
5 minutes. Shika.
there were some mistakes.
Conclude 5 minutes,
Yeah, yeah.
please.
Yeah, but there were some initial mistakes made by him, like he invested in shares suggested by his friends and relatives. Then the second mistake was lack of analysis. Third was he was easily influenced by the factors such as market conditions. And the fourth one was he was blindly following the tips of the brokers. As a correction of this, he started reading about the market trend. He started following channels, and basically he thought of learning by seeing others. So there was a self-analysis stage which he reached, in which he thought of selecting 5 pharma stocks. And these 5 pharma stocks by pharma, if we talk about. So the first one was, as we have seen in the pandemic, the pharma shares were shooting up. So he thought that it would be a safe bet for him. And there was some news which backed up in his story. That's why he chose 5 pharma stocks. And these 5 pharma stocks, the basis on which he selected these five are, first one is Cipla. As we all know that Cipla is a very popular share to invest in. And he thought that investing in Cipla would give him high returns. So he picked Cipla as his first share. Then second, he took Sun Pharma, because Sun Pharma, the financial position was quite good. And then the market, it was the 4th market leader. So he thought, why not to invest in Sun Pharma? Next comes Aarti Drugs. Aarti Drugs is a leading manufacturer of pharmaceutical ingredients. So he thought it is a very good option to invest. Then fourth one is Dr. Reddy's laboratory. Dr. Reddy's laboratory was generating a revenue which was quite good, which made him think that, and there was some significant proportion of US government regulation making on. So he thought investing in that would be a good option. Fifth is Apollo Hospital. Apollo Hospital acclaimed to be a pioneer in private healthcare revolution. That's why he chose Apollo Hospital. Now the dilemma was, it was his hard-earned money. So although he had done all his research, he has collected all the information, but he was not able to find out which is the best first one stock out of these 5. So he wanted to know about the returns generated by these stocks, know the impact of market movement on the price of these 5 stocks, and what will happen to the price of these stocks if there is a downturn in the market. Along with that, will the upswing in the market reward him more than the market or not? Now I'll like my colleague to continue.
Thank you, Mishika. So now the questions that we people have proposed for discussion, precisely 5 questions, but depending upon the requirement, the teacher using this case can develop more questions, can put in more questions. So first one is, first 2 questions are basic calculations, that is how to calculate return and risk on the various stocks. The third one is measuring the sensitivity of these stocks with respect to market. And one of the tools that we use is beta. And so the third question help students to learn how to calculate beta and what are the repercussions of beta values. The fourth one is, out of these five, on the basis of various appropriate parameters, which one is supposed to be the best stock? And as I said in the beginning only, the fifth question is the crux of the case. Of course, he has done all the data collection, analysis, and calculations and all that. But is it the right approach? Should it be the approach of a learned investor, somebody who has learned investment, to just collect the data, pass data of some random stocks from one sector only, do some calculations and decide only one stock to invest? So these are the five questions. Now, if time permits, for 1 or 2 minutes, I'll quickly run through, I'll just show you the case, and then I'll quickly run through the teaching notes.
I think, Dr. Chandra, we are running a little short of time, so maybe teaching notes, I'm sure the teaching notes would be, we have the teaching notes, and the teaching strategy clarifies the gist of the teaching notes. And anyone have any questions, please? Quick 2 questions, maybe we can take.
Mishika, can you open the case, please, in the background?
From the online participants also, if you have any questions, we can take 2 quick questions, please.
Mishika, please open the case in the background.
Dr. Rajneesh, since Dr. Singh only have presented the initial part of the case, so until unless we also get to know the teaching cases, I think we'll not be able to do a fair justice of evaluating the case study. I don't know what is Dr. Sarabhai's views on this.
So I need just 1 or maybe maximum 2 minutes to go through that if you people want.
If you can just
Right.
quickly summarize it as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so Mishika, please open the case.
It's already shared in the screen. I hope it's visible.
No, case is not visible. Only the links are visible right now.
Okay, I'll just reshare it again.
Yeah, please share only the case.
Yeah.
We just want to look at the teaching notes, sir.
Yeah. That's given at the end of the case, ma'am.
This is the teaching.
Yeah. Quickly start from, okay. So teaching notes, please go ahead. First slide, Mishika. Move on to the next one.
In the first slide.
No, move on to the next one. First question. Yeah. So the first question, as I said, talks about calculation of return. So this talks about how to calculate return of all these 5 stocks. There is a standard formula. Second one, similarly, we have suggested that the risk should be calculated in 2 ways. One, the overall risk, that is a standard deviation of each stock. And the second one is systematic and unsystematic risk. Move on to the next one, please. Yeah, so the third one, the sensitivity of each stock with respect to the market movement will be measured through beta, and this is how beta should be calculated. Next one. And then we have got risk, return, beta metrics for all these shares, and accordingly, after we have got the values, we can find out which is the best stock. And finally, the crux, that is question number 5. What we are proposing, that although it involves a lot of analysis, but the approach taken by this investor is not the correct approach. The reason he has selected all these stocks from one sector, which is not advised. Reason number 2, he has taken only the past data. No future prediction is involved. That is not advised. Third, other things like valuation, fundamental analysis, technical analysis, nothing has been done. And therefore, this approach is not the right approach, even if it has got a lot of data and a lot of analysis. And finally, since this person doesn't have the background and he has already lost a lot of money in the stock market by doing these kind of things, we are proposing him that it is also a good idea to consider mutual funds or consider other people, expert investors, to help him in the process of investing. And lastly, Mishika, can you quickly show that data metrics as a part of the case? Just open that Word file of the case.
Yeah. I have to reshare it. It's not getting shared.
Just open the Word file. Forget about the PPT link.
Yeah. It's there actually.
Just share that Word file.
Is it visible?
Yes. Come down. Open that data. So this is the data of these 5 companies. This data is for last 5 years, monthly data. So what we are saying that this guy is good as far as he is an engineer and MBA marketing. So he is good as far as the data collection and calculation part is concerned. But probably not probably, definitely the basics of investment and the advanced tools they are missing. Please come down. So these are the closing values, and vis-a-vis the value of market index, that is Nifty 50, has also been taken. One more thing that we are suggesting, that for calculating beta, if he has taken sectoral, only stocks of pharma shares, taking Nifty as an index is also not the correct approach. That's all from my side. Our side rather. Thank you so much. Queries are most welcome.
All right. So anybody who has a question, please, we can take 1 or 2 quick questions because we're taking more time.
Dr. Rajneesh, I don't have a question, but a quick suggestion. Because when we're talking about taking, even though finance is not my area, but what I can understand and suggest from a layman's perspective is that when we are trying to figure out, in which stock we should be investing in, there also are a lot of advanced tools, right? So if that can also be talked about in the case study, because there are, I think, some online tools also which an investor can use to determine and make a wise decision as to where he or she should be investing. So if that also can be incorporated in the case study.
Ma'am, they are actually part of the case. Because of the limitation of time, we could not talk about all these points. All these things are actually mentioned in the case, all those tools, and which of those tools are actually advised to be used and which of these tools we should not be using, because many of these tools actually become negative. So all these things are part of the case.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
One
this.
small question.
Sir.
How would you differentiate while executing this case, this being a case or what you call a problem or a situation which is generally done in a course called SAPM? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. So how would you differentiate? Is it really a case or a small caselet, which is something in between a question or a problem and a case? So, just by the length or by the complexities of the, various theories and concepts involved in it? How would you, I'm sure you must have thought about your teaching strategy as far as case conduction is concerned. Because,
Exactly.
sometimes we come very close of writing a case when they end up becoming a problem. So I have not read the full case, but I'm sharing my feeling with you. That's all. It's not a question actually.
Okay. Just to say something on this, sir. Thank you so much for the suggestion. This actually started with a problem only, risk return and beta calculation. But as I said, it is actually a case based on interviews of many people. But I can't mention all those interviews, and that's why we have taken an artificial person. Of course, the person is artificial, the name is artificial. But as I said, this guy Amit actually represent all those tens of people, if not hundreds, those who have interviewed in my sessions, and they commit all those common 3-4 mistakes and end up losing money, and then they blame the stock market. They don't blame their approach; they blame the stock market. So it has originated from there, sir.
Right.
Thank you
And
so much, sir.
also, Dr. Singh,
Dr.
if you will structure your teaching notes according to the case center guidelines, right, it will be more clear, because as Dr. Sarabhai was asking, whether it's a caselet and which subject, which topic it can be taken up for. So all these things will become more clear, strategy and everything will become more clear if you structure it according to the case center guidelines, which I'm sure Dr. Rajneesh would have shared with you.
Yes, sir. Ma'am, actually, the case that we have sent and the teaching notes that we have sent, they are as per the guidelines of case center only.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Sandit. Thank you, Dr. Maurya and Dr. Sarabhai. It was indeed an insight for the making choice for the stocks for the right investments. Right. We move on to the second case, which is titled as Cultivating Rural Prosperity, the TVUD Very Composed Success Saga. The authors are Dr. Anita Banerjee and Dr. Kripa Mondal. So I think we have Dr. Mondal here with us. Very good afternoon, sir.
Hi, good afternoon. If you can hear me,
You can share your presentation, sir, and you can
Right.
start your case, please. And the case ID is 003 for the session chairs, please, for evaluation.
can you, my screen shared? Is it visible?
Yes, yes, sir. It is visible.
Yes, right. Okay. Uh, as you can see, first, let me introduce myself. I am Kripa Mandal. I am an agriculture specialist. I'm presently working in Tripura. It's a northeastern state of India. I'm working for a World Bank project, which is named as TRESP. And I have around 23 years of experience in this developmental field. Basically, apart from being that, I am an agriculturist, been doing farming, family business actually, we are farming. So this is where I come from really. So the topic which is shared is cultivating rural prosperity, TVUD, vermicompost saga stories. So, along with me, to let you know, the author is Dr. Anita Banerjee, who is who is a professor, associate professor from your esteemed university, MIT University. So the content, as mentioned, we have introduction, context and significance, scope of the study, case study, context, then concluding remarks, the teaching notes, assignments, and two annexures are there where I have enclosed photographs. As we start with the slide, is it very visible? No, my slide is visible.
Yes, sir. They are perfectly visible, sir. Please go ahead.
Right. So, starting with my abstract, the case study story follows with the rise of the producer group, which is Tripureshwari Vermicompost Utpadak Dal, with their clear goal. The goal was to solve the urgent agricultural problem of obtaining high quality and reasonably high priced vermicompost. The TVUD, which is Tripureshwari Vermicompost Utpadak Dal, was born from several self-help groups under the aegis of TRLM, which is Tripura Rural Livelihood Mission, fulfilling the dreams of 20 women-driven individuals. Beyond the vermicompost, the women groups have other sources of income in effort for them to have an annual income should be more, which they have planned to have more than 1 lakh of rupees, which is around 1,250 USD. The case story tells us about the beginning and the growth of the Tripureshwari Vermicompost Utpadak Dal, examining the challenges it encountered, its a crucial position in the vermicompost value chain, the significant influence it has had in the local communities. The tale of the Tripureshwari Vermicompost Utpadak Dal is an example of rural women emancipation, environmental sustainability, and the commitment towards the sustainable agriculture. As we unravel the complexities of the producer group, identify the tactics, the educational initiatives, financial backings, the crucial contribution of the Udyog Shakis who are working with the block personals in the Tripura Rural Livelihood Mission. The story shed lights on the remarkable changes in the rural entrepreneurship and the commodity-driven strategies which are brought in the Tripura heartland. This is basically the abstract which I've put in. Then as we go to the introduction, this Tripura Vermicompost Utpadak Dal is a totally a woman driven producer group whose success story plays out actually against the Georgia's backdrop of Tripura, under the Gomati district's Matabari RD block. It is a perfect example how really a woman rural community group, actually they have organized themselves and empowered themselves and bring out a dramatic changes in the agriculture ecosystem. The case light on the overall backdrop difficulties, success of the producer group, and a producer group that has established to respond to the critical local need. The Gomati district of the Tripura state is actually is a area which is predominantly agriculture, based on the agriculture economy. It has rich agricultural soil. The main source of income actually basically from the farming sector. Therefore, soil health is very important for the farmers. And this
So 5
yes.
minutes, please. 5 minutes only.
Okay.
5 minutes.
Okay, the organic fertilizers are actually the main contributors to the soil fertility, increasing the soil health. And because it is very important for increasing the crop yield. And as you know, in the northeastern region, there is as aloof from the Indian subcontinent, there's a lack of chemical fertilizers even. So this Tripura plays a very important role in providing good vermicompost uh, 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 for their communities actually. So, and as we move on to the introduction level, we can see that the type of soil in the Matabari region is basically a sandy loam soil. Okay, and this sandy loam soil tends to lose their moisture and nutrients due to its characteristics. Farmers use plastic mulching to conserve the soil moisture and the nutrient loss. This vermicompost plays a very important role where it improves soil nutrient quality, and also improve the soil moisture retention capacity, which increases the crop yield. About the next uh, about the case protagonist, the producer group was created with several SAGs established by
Sir, sorry to
20.
interrupt you. Sir, sorry to interrupt you. Maybe you can come to the teaching strategy and teaching notes, please.
No, because it is very important to put in my case study, if you don't understand my case study, how can you understand my teaching methods?
So
That's very
can you
important
be
that I should
please
tell my.
little quick, sir? Can you be a little quick, sir?
Okay. So the group is basically of 20 members, which is registered under Tripura Rural Livelihood Mission, and it is around in and around the Tripurashri temple, which is actually is spiritual hub of the Tripura state. And main goal of the group was to provide the local community is easily accessible quality vermicompost. Apart from this producing the vermicompost, the group they have other source of income like backward poultry, rice and vegetable farming, pig farming, and goatry. The dilemma next, we should go on the dilemma. Dilemma in the community faced by the local farming community in the Tripura was lack of high quality of affordable vermicompost. And because of the sandy loam soil, the moisture content and the nutrient contents of the soil was a huge problem and the reliance on plastic mulching addressing the issues actually uh, was to address the issues. This was a clear need of an alternative sustainable solution. This the Tripurashri Vermicompost Utpadak Dal emerged as a response to this dilemma and aiming in providing the reliable source of vermicompost. Basically, I tell you, the soil in this of this community, they're basically, as I told you, a sand loam soil, predominantly in this area they cultivate more of watermelon, and the life of a watermelon is more of around 100 days. And if when you use plastic mulching, thus if you use chemical fertilizers, it is the chemical fertilizers are highly mobile, so it doesn't retain its nutrient quality. So it becomes a very important for the farmers to use vermicompost to retain its moisture and the nutrient quality. That's the reason the farmers understood the context and local problem, and that was responded by the producer groups. I come to the next. I come to the teaching goals. Sorry. Okay. Uh, so the theoretical backgrounds to be taught in this case study. Several theoretical backgrounds can be explored and taught. First of all, rural entrepreneurship, which as uh, which can be discussed. The concept of rural entrepreneurship can be discussed. How the local communities come together to create economic opportunity and address the pressing agricultural challenges. Secondly, the community-driven women play a very important role. The power of the community-driven initiatives in solving the agriculture problems, in promoting the rural development, discuss the self-help groups and producer cooperatives in this context. As you know, this self-help groups is a community institution, and there are several community institutions under the uh, uh, rural livelihood mission, and this rural livelihood works under the national rural livelihood mission. There are actually three layers of community institution in the state in India. First of all, in the local level, there is self-help groups. Then upper level in panchayat, they have village organizations. Then the highest level is the cluster level organizations, CLF. So they play a very important role in providing funds to the lower level community organizations, and the government stateway finances the cluster level organizations, federations. That's very so. Thirdly, we can explore the principles and practices of sustainable agriculture, highlighting the importance of organic fertilizers, which maintaining the soil health, promoting environmental friendly farming methods, and D, the soil science, where it is very important for a soil like sondulum soil, wherein the vermicompost improves the soil fertility. These four important topics can be taught under this case study. The teaching goals and objectives. The teaching goals and objectives for case studies can include to explore the concept of community-driven initiatives, wherein the rural women are in the front, and their potential to address pressing regional agriculture issues. B, to understand the challenges and opportunities in agriculture, in sustainable agriculture practices in rural India, in sync with the sustainable development goals. To reorganize the significance of rural entrepreneurship and its impact on local communities and economics. To discuss the role of women's empowerment through programs like Women Farmers Field Schools in rural development. E, to evaluate the importance of marketing, packaging, labeling in promoting organic agricultural products and their market access. F, to analyze the role of vermicompost and organic farming methods in maintaining soil health and fertility. This all from me. Any questions?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Mondal. It was indeed an insightful case study, particularly in the agriculture sector. I invite the participants and the chairs to kindly ask the quick questions, please.
Dr. Mandal, can you go to the slide of your protagonist?
Please, which one?
Protagonist.
Yes. Yes. Shall I just wait? I will share the screen. Please. Is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible now. Yeah.
Please.
So who is the protagonist? The TVUT is the protagonist in this case?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Actually, secondly, the interface of my study is that I am working for a World Bank project, and we are working in 23 tribal blocks. And this Tripureshwari Vermicompost Utpadak Dal is in the non-tribal block. Okay, so the interface between me and our work and uh, uh, this producer group is that we can replicate the same in the tribal blocks where they are little bit, they they don't have much kind of intellectual knowledges. Secondly, we can purchase the vermicompost from that place to use it in our tribal blocks so that we can improve the quality of production. Any more questions?
Just no questions, but just a suggestion that in your teaching strategy, you have mentioned 4 different aspects for which this
Yes.
particular case study can be taken. I was just wondering if you also can take this study as part of women in entrepreneurship or something related to gender, right? How women are also contributing towards employment and social development.
It is, you can, if you can see the second
That's
point.
fine. Gender driven is community driven solution is fine. I'm talking about the gender studies because there's a lot of focus on the gender studies also these days. So community is fine. If that, if you wish, you can include that also as to how women are contributing towards social and economic development.
I tell you one more thing. This community institutions, all the members of the community institutions are women, and these producer groups are come out from the self-help groups who are all women, and they are the members, 20 members in the producer group, all are women, and it's very well you have told that we can I can also include uh, the one which you have told each. Really, as an point,
Dr.
I will
Mandal,
definitely include that.
Dr. Mandal, what I'm trying to portray is when we say community, community can be just men, it can be just women, it can be youngsters, right? But when we are talking about a particular gender, then that aspect, if you think, you can include it in as well.
Definitely, I'll include it as a point. Really, definitely, I will do that.
Right. Any further questions? Right. Thank you, Dr. Mondal. Maybe you can stop sharing the screen now.
Yes, before I leave, thanks for giving me the opportunity. Actually, I'm not an educationist. I'm from the developmental field, and it's very easy for me to present something which related to development kind of case study. So thanks again.
This is a fantastic field-based case study, and I think it has a potential to be developed further. In fact, after the conference, we'll have more deliberations that how to structure the case for the case center for the selected cases. On the recommendations of the session chairs, we'll get in touch with the authors later. Right. Thank you so much for
Thanks,
now.
Rajneesh. Thanks, Dr. Rajneesh. Thank you all for giving me the opportunity. Okay, thank you.
Right. Moving on to the next case, we have case ID 004, the dollar cost averaging strategy by Dr. Shobhit Goyal, Dr. Sanobar Khan, and Dr. Arvind Kumar Singh. This is an offline presentation, ma'am. So I will share the PPT on the screen over here, and the presenter will be presenting right now. Just allow me to download the presentation. It's within my email. I hope the screen is visible, the case study, yeah?
Yes, it is.
Right. Over to you, Dr. Shobit.
Thank you, session chairs. Thank you, Dr. Rajneesh, and thank you all my friends and colleagues over here for making me come over here and present the case. My case is an abstract case. It is about a strategy. It is not about any person. It is not about any company. It is not about any community as such. But it is about everybody's issue. It is an issue of any investor. It could be Mr. X, it could be Mr. Amit, it could be any company or community as well. So the contents of my case are, I have just introduced the case. Then after that, I've made the objectives of the case study written in the second part. Then historical perspective of dollar cost averaging. When I'll be moving on, first I will be trying to explain what is dollar cost averaging. Then I have mentioned over here empirical studies which I've already done, which are already been done on dollar cost averaging performance. Then how to select a sample investment portfolio. Then I have posted the findings. Thereafter discussions, interpretation, and then what exactly is the role of market timing in DCA. Conclusion, references, and teaching notes are further the part of the presentation. Now, before telling you about the abstract, I would like to tell you what is dollar cost averaging. Whenever we make an investment, sometimes we make an investment at a market which is at a very high point, or maybe it needs correction, but still we make an investment because we do not know whether it is the highest point or the market will go more higher. So we make an investment at a higher price as well, and at same time we make an investment at a very bottom price also. So, but we do not know whether it is the rock bottom or whether it is sky high. So we do not know the market limits. So for getting this problem solved, this dollar cost averaging strategy is usually followed by the investors. This case study basically aims to analyze the effectiveness of the dollar cost averaging. Means like it will tell us all about what is the effective role of dollar cost averaging strategy in planning and investment for optimizing investment returns over a defined period. It involves investing a fixed amount. See, at most of the times, we do not know that how much amount should be invested at what time. If we are knowing the market, we are knowing that, okay, it is the rock bottom place. Now we can invest a huge amount of money so that when it will go up and we can make big money out of it. So this strategy suggests that a fixed amount at regular intervals should be invested into the market irrespective of market conditions. Systematic investment in an asset over time is definitely going to mitigate the risk associated with market volatility and enhance the long-term returns. Now, this study explores the historical performance of DCA strategy. I've mentioned in my case how this strategy can be utilized and what had been the historical performances of this strategy, a sample investment portfolio, and evaluating its impact on investment outcomes compared to other investment strategies. Dollar cost averaging is an investment strategy where you consistently invest a fixed amount of money into a particular investment at regular intervals. So the period of investment is long, regular intervals we invest, and we do not consider or we do not regard whatever the market price of the product, whatever the market price of the security is. The idea behind this strategy is to reduce the impact of market volatility, because this study definitely takes care of market volatility, how to beat the market volatility and take advantage of potential for long-term growth. We buy at a lower price, we get higher amount of investment, we get more units, more maybe whatever we are buying, maybe we are investing into any type of securities. How it works? It works like consistent investments is required. Buy more when prices are low. Whenever you are buying at a lower price, then you are getting more product. Buy fewer when prices are high. When prices are high, definitely we are for the same amount of money or for the same amount of dollar, we are going to get the lower commodity, be it any security. Averaging out cost is the basis of this DCA. Potential benefits will be there and regular evaluation can be done since you are doing a periodic investment, so you can regularly evaluate what your returns are. Protagonist. Now, the dollar cost investment, or we can say averaging strategy, is the protagonist in this study, which definitely gives you an effective and efficient returns for the investment. It reduces the impact of market volatility. It smooths out the average purchase price. So whenever we are investing at a higher price and at the same time, after some period or maybe at the regular period, we are buying at a lower price, then average is definitely going to be smoothed out. Effective for long-term investments. This strategy is not for short-term investments because we do not see much volatility in the short term. Requires discipline and consistency. It promotes discipline. It's potential lower returns in rising market, because if the market is rising, we are just moving ahead and we are just buying the lower securities, and definitely it gives you a lesser commodity or lesser security, so the returns will be a little lesser. Psychological benefits. What are the dilemma? Whenever we are investing, what comes to our mind is, what are the problems? What could happen? Why should we invest? Should we not invest? So first thing is market volatility. Are we investing at the right price? Is the market moving right? Market timing. Is the right time for investment? Should we do the investment at this point of time, or should we skip the investment? Is it market is going to get a little lesser or maybe higher? Investment discipline. It promotes investment discipline. That whether we are a disciplined investor or not. Emotional decision making. Now, in this point, I would like to highlight over here that we have various behavioral biases. We have various behavioral biases which affects our investment. We have herd bias. We have number of other biases, which is not exactly a part of my study. So I'm not digging into detail about this. Risk of making a bad investment. If we are making a one-time investment, I do not know whether it is a good investment or bad investment. We cannot study in that case. Cost of transaction definitely gets lowered. Period of investment should be high, and definitely no investment, no strategy can guarantee a good profit or maybe protection against loss. So what exactly to be taught to the learner before this case study? The concept of dollar cost averaging as an investment strategy should be made clear. Explanation of dollar cost strategy or averaging as a technique where an investor regularly invests a fixed amount of money in a particular investment over a specific period, regardless of market condition. They should be taught. Dollar cost averaging allows investors to buy more shares when prices are low and fewer shares when prices are high. Therefore, it reduces the impact of market volatility. This is to be understood and taught to the students or to the learner. The investment scenario and time horizon. What should be the investment horizon? Should it be long? Should it be short? If it is short, the strategy will not work. It should be long. And time horizon, for how much time you want to invest in this market, or you want to remain in the market. The investment vehicle are involved. It could be stock, it could be even bonds, but preferably these are this dollar cost averaging strategy works on the volatile securities. So bonds we basically are not part of this study. Emphasis is there on the benefit and potential drawbacks also. Importance of consistency and long-term investment is to be taught. Broader implications of dollar cost averaging for investors and how it fits into a well-diversified investment portfolio. Now, before moving further with the next slide, I would like to tell you about what is diversified investment portfolio. So diversified investment portfolio is the portfolio in which we have the securities across different sectors. It could be across different sectors, it could be across different market capitalization, and also across different risk capacity. Importance of understanding the risk and staying consistent with the chosen approach is to be taught while making this study. These are the teaching goals and objectives. To understand the concept of dollar cost averaging as an investment strategy and analysis of its potential benefit. Also, not benefits, but also the drawbacks are to be discussed. To measure the performance of dollar cost averaging over a specific period, considering various mainly two important factors that are market timing and market conditions. To explore the psychological and emotional aspect of dollar cost averaging, which includes the impact of market volatility on investment behavior. Suitability of dollar cost averaging for different types of investors. That's what I was about to say in my last slide, that when we were discussing about different investors, their emotional biases. So for maybe they are risk averse, they are risk takers. So it is different for different persons or investors. And to evaluate the effectiveness of dollar cost averaging in achieving financial goals, such as wealth accumulation or retirement planning. It can also be long term as good as for retirement planning, and it can start early for accumulation of wealth for the youth or maybe the initial investors. Thank you, sir. Any questions?
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the presentation. Questions from the session chairs and the participants, please.
Not a question. Actually, first of all, the case writers had given a disclaimer that it's an abstract case, so I can't say much on it. But probably it's more of a theoretical background which has been explained. Pardon me for not understanding your subject well, but whatever little I could gauge is that if these concepts are, put under a wrap of a typical case, full orientation of the case, the way it is written and all, maybe some protagonist, and finding a longitudinal data where somebody did this, along with the behaviors of that person, may really make this case a very powerful case. I'm saying this, with all responsibility, that I have not read the case fully, but whatever you presented, if that is put under the wrap of those, may turn out to be a very powerful case. So thank you so much and all the best.
Certainly. Indeed, sir.
I totally agree with Dr. Samir, because when we compare it with the first case that was presented by Dr. Singh, he also had put up a case as a hypothetical case wherein he had a protagonist, and in addition to that, he also had a lot of data, that can be referred to understand the concept of, what all ratios can be considered before investing. So if he can also do the similar thing, that over a period of time the data can be presented and also explain as to how dollar this particular costing average can be done. It will help in understanding better the concept and how the investment can be done. So it actually can come up as a very nice case, because we really don't have good cases, really not many cases on this particular subject. So if these suggestions can be incorporated, definitely it can come up as a good case. And maybe if some companies can also be referred to that provide such kind of services.
That will bring interest to the class also. When you take this case to the class, it will bring interest to the class. Otherwise, it will be very close to the concept only. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Dr. Shobit. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I think we have Yash Chug present here. Yash, can you hear us? Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Would you be able to share your presentation? Is that
Dr.
okay?
Yes, sir.
This is
Definitely, sir.
case
Yes,
number?
sir.
All right. So let me present our next presenter. He's a student from Amity University, Noida campus, and he would be presenting a case on the changing consumer preferences in the health conscious category, getaway desserts.
Yes.
Welcome, Yash. You can share your screen and start your presentation.
It's case number what?
That is
This was
case
the
ID
first.
001.
Yes.
That's
Huh?
case ID 001, sir. Yash, you have 10 minutes. Please
Sure, sir.
maintain the time limits.
Sure, sir.
He joined the other session actually.
Yeah, actually, I joined the wrong link.
Ah.
Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible. Yes. Thank you.
So the topic of my case is a case on the changing consumer preferences by Getaway Desserts. That's the protagonist I've chosen. Firstly, good afternoon to one and all present here, all the panelists and the participants. My name is Yash Chug. I'm a student at Amity University, Noida. I'm currently in my final semester of MBA in International Business. I'll begin with my case. The contents are as follows, where the case starts with abstract, raise some objectives, which I'll narrate the coming slides. Given a background about how the gradual shift in healthy eating choices has happened over the past decade and previous as well. Read some papers about the factors and have highlighted those factors and given more importance about how these factors is the importance in making a healthy choice while eating out. Um, then the trends between price and affordability and healthy eating choices, nutrition information, taste and flavor, social and cultural influences, health consciousness, where health awareness and dietary preferences come in play, and accessibility and convenience, advertising and marketing. These are some of the factors that major factors that make a consumer go for a healthy eating choice. Business implication opportunities by some of the brands that are already in play in the Indian market, and problem and solution, that is by the Getaway Desserts, what problem they have targeted and what solution they have come up with. And lastly, there are citational references. So the abstract highlights the factors that influences consumers' changing preferences when it comes to health within the health conscious category. It examines how growing health um, awareness, evolving societal values, environmental concerns, and technological advances drive change in customer preferences. Apart from that, the study also examines the strategies Indian companies use to meet the evolving demands of health conscious consumers, such as product innovation, marketing approaches, and customer engagement. It examines how they behave in the health conscious category and how they adapt to changing customer preferences. Lastly, there's an examination of the Getaway Desserts. It provides guilt-free desserts, ice creams, and skills where they have come up with unique offerings, marketing strategies, and customer engagement initiatives that are remarkable to not quote in such case. It assesses the company's success in capturing the market share and fostering customer loyalty in such a competitive health conscious category. Purpose of this case study is to provide insights into the factors influencing changing customer preferences and the adaptation strategies of Indian companies, along with exploring what Getaway has in this category. The findings aim to provide valuable insights and businesses operating in the health conscious market to effectively respond to evolving customer demands and emerging market opportunities. Yeah. So I'll begin with the introduction. I think over the past decade, what has happened is we have made a conscious choice, or at least selecting that um, we have to go outside and not just pick up anything that comes, but rather make a much informed decision about everything that we buy. So by observing and by even uh, reading some past literature that has happened on this, and even going out and making this decision myself some of the time. The simple choice started with using brown bread over white bread. So right from there, we have started making a healthy choice, and our preferences in eating choices have changed a lot. So this is driven by a growing awareness of the impact of nutrition on individual well-being, and consumers are becoming more selective, opting for a fresh and unprocessed option, and making a conscious decision to have wholesome foods, which might be reducing their consumption of high sugar and high fat products due to increased awareness of associated health risks. Um, Also, another important factor that might be pushing us to this choice is the emergence of some brands and some international market players that have made this healthy choice that eating out is not always unhealthy or junk. So Subway came up, and we always thought that some one of the healthy options. But that is on a level which is very urbanized and modernized, not quite rural. Um, it also differs to accessibility as a factor. So whenever I want Subway, it may or may not be available at that point of time. Also, Subway in itself is a private organization and suffers from failing to meet demands on time due to some inconveniences in the supply chain, or sometimes the processed cold processing food that they use. So the bread that they make is their own, but the patty that they make is frozen. So we want to make uh, we want to make a more conscious decision on having a wholesome food. So there is also a demand for transparency in the food industry, with consumers seeking clear nutrition information and responsible labeling. Subway has had some past cases where it has claimed falsely about having 100% uh, of their items being not processed. So um, the adoption of a holistic approach to health recognizes the influence of diet on physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Social
Yes, please
media
be
and
a little quick. Please be a little quick.
sure,
You
sir.
have 5 minutes, please.
Sure, sir. Social media and celebrity endorsements also play a huge role in this trend and encourage healthier eating habits. About the case protagonist, case highlights necessary factors that may act as a foundation while making a healthy choice. Um, Making a healthy choice on the go. To make the concept easy for all, the protagonist can be an imaginary entrepreneur who wishes to enter the health conscious market and establish themselves in this sector. So they would be able to explore the market dynamics that are currently happening and the opportunities that the businesses have presented therefore. So they would be able to assess the business implications and potential opportunities for entering or investing in this market by reading this case. Another approach can be a person who is inside the company and can provide valuable insights about its strategies, challenges, and experiences in responding to changing consumer preferences in the health conscious category. So, what is the dilemma, the problem that is being encountered here? So Josh and Pashmi are siblings who have encountered this problem of having a craving of workout snacks after their workout daily. Their mother, Jimmy, who was facing this problem because her children were demanding such post-workout cravings. So she came up with an ice cream recipe which had the item of protein involved in it. This was missing in the market as well. And then the family decided to come up with a business for the same, having almost zero corporate knowledge about coming up with business and market expertise. Um, they have obtained licenses, managed manufacturing, logistics, and marketing. And that's how they have established the brand Getaway Desserts. Productions, the ingredients that come into play, the pasteurizing, aging, freezing, and how they will supply something in cold storage to a wide scale was something that they had to encounter. So, just for knowledge that their ice creams have 12% protein price between the 125 and 425 range, which is pretty affordable. So, here are some theoretical backgrounds that I think need to be stressed upon in this case before we enter into its details about the consumer behavior. So students should be familiar with the basic concepts of consumer behavior, such as factors influencing consumer choices, decision-making processes, and the importance of consumer segmentation. knowledge of health and wellness trends. Health and wellness trends are pretty popular at this moment. Plant-based diets, demand for organic and natural products. Some things like keto diets are very popular. Awareness of market players is another stress point that should be counted upon in this case study, where we should know if we want to make a conscious choice when we are out, which companies or which products to look for. What are the market offerings in the Indian market currently in and around us? Product innovation by these companies and differentiation. What difference are these companies doing? What is the USP, the product development process, and the branding strategies? Are they ethical or not? And lastly, the marketing communication strategies. Students can study and market these tactics utilized by these companies, inculcate in their businesses, which might be of similar category as well. So this can involve from completely 100% digital marketing to having a mix of both or completely traditional marketing as well. The teaching goals and objectives to understand the dynamics and trends in the health category and its impacts on consumer preferences and behavior. And the strategies employed by companies to cater to changing customer preferences in this health conscious category, and the business implications and opportunities arising, the innovation, marketing, and supply chain that comes into play when you enter into similar kind of business. I've also inculcated how this company has done it, and critical thinking and decision making skills in evaluating such marketing dynamics and formulating strategies for success in the health conscious category. Lastly, teaching objective, the key factors driving changing customer preferences, such as health awareness, lifestyle, nutrition information, advertising and marketing, accessibility to these products are somewhat playing the major role to making the customers choose healthy while eating out. Business applications I've already pointed out, but to go into the more details, I've included in the case study about the market potential, the competitive landscape that is currently present, the challenges and the growth opportunities that might be coming up for anybody who tries to enter into the business. Assess the effectiveness of product innovation, so marketing and supply chain management and capturing and meeting these consumer demands. And another point that can be an objective after this case study is read is discussions and debates on ethical and sustainable practices. So this is something that is very much undermined by these companies as well. And this can be a good point and can get government aid as well. Lastly, communication and presentation skills through group discussions, case analysis, and presentations is somewhat that can be adhered to and enhanced after this case is read. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yash. Thank you very much. It's a good effort, I suppose, very good effort for writing the case. I hope you have the teaching strategy in your mind, and you will share the complete case with the teaching notes soon, because
Yes, sir.
I think after the suggestions, maybe some suggestions from the session chairs for the student, please.
Yes, sure.
Yes, a very good effort from your side.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm sure when we read the full case, it's going to be the two things which I would like to share. I'm sure it must be there, but since we have not read it, so dilemma has to come out very clearly.
Okay, sir.
Okay, of the protagonist.
All right, I'll make sure that.
B, goals and objectives need not be a big wish list. 3 and 4 are good enough. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, sir. I'll make sure that that's reduced. Yeah.
If you actually see, I don't want to get into the details.
Yes, sir.
So when you're talking about segmentation of it, that's good enough. That itself is good enough. Then sustainability comes in, fair enough. So, you must know that the case, sustainability is quite in vogue. But if case is more towards STP, so be it.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So less is more sometimes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Completely get it, sir.
That's a good suggestion, Professor Moria, please.
That's a good effort by Yash, and I'm sure he'll be incorporating the feedback given by Dr. Sarabhai. All the
Yes,
best,
yes, ma'am.
Yash.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jess, for the presentation, and all the best to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Do we have Gulnoza Yildoz? Gulnoza Yildoz, do we have her online? She was there online for some time. No, don't think so. All right, so we'll move to the next presentation. Do we have Sundar C from Amity University Noida campus? A student of Amity University Noida. Sundar C. Yeah, I think he is here. All right. So Sundar.
Yes, sir.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sundar would be presenting a case on VE Commercial Vehicles Limited, Eicher Volvo ride on their complementary strength for the global market. Again,
Yes,
the
sir.
case will be presented by the students of our Amity University Noida campus. All the best. So you'll be able to share your presentation online?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's coming.
Please share your presentation. You have 10 to 12 minutes to present your case.
This is case number what?
This is case ID 007, sir.
Sir, is my screen is visible, sir?
Yes, it is visible. Please carry on.
Yes. Yeah. So visible, sir? Sir, good evening to all present here. Myself, Sundar C. I'm pursuing MBA International Business in Amity University, Noida. And our case study is based on VE Commercial Vehicles Limited. This case study is a teaching case, which means which is based on the secondary data. The data and facts is taken from companies' websites and popular news houses, and how Eicher and Volvo joint ventured and how they conquered the new markets. This is the main theme of the presentation, a case study, and we are going to break this case study into three parts, which is how Eicher entered into the global market, and how Volvo entered into the Indian market, and how the Volvo and Eicher combined with a joint venture to explore the new markets on their respective areas. So here we go. But before starting this, I want to make sure that the joint venture means
Sundar, just a suggestion, if you can just skip these slides where you define joint venture and individuals.
So actually, yes, I would like to give the intro of the Volvo, and the main theme of the joint venture is in 2008, the Volvo Group and Eicher Group formed a joint venture into, and they want to penetrate into the commercial transport vehicle sector in India. This joint venture is called as the Volvo Eicher Commercial Vehicles Limited, and this in current state, this is one of the considered as the industry leader in the commercial vehicle industry. And as talking about the Volvo is a Swedish company in which the Volvo is mainly emphasis on the business of Volvo trucks, Renault trucks, and Volvo construction equipments and Volvo financial services, and they produce and they also expertise in financial and services also. And the main part of this joint venture is how Volvo entered into the Indian market. In this is given the timeline basis. In 1998, Volvo introduced the bus in Volvo buses introduced Volvo introduced the buses in India in 1998, and then they launched the new entry in the cities in bus segment, which is a B10 LE. This LE means a low entry city bus. And then after the time went, the Volvo has set up a plant in Bangalore, and today Volvo is Volvo has a market share of 70% luxury bus segment, as well as it has a 10% share on premium truck segment, which is a heavy commercial trucks. And Eicher, the Eicher is an Indian automaker company based on Gurgaon. And Eicher has been expertise in the business of trucks, buses, and automotive gears and components. And the second part of the case study comes here as how Eicher explored the foreign market. In 2018, Eicher formed the Eicher formed a joint venture in Volvo Group, and they created the joint venture of Volvo Eicher commercial vehicles, and this sells commercial vehicles in heavy segment in India and as well as other countries. In 2013, Eicher launched this Royal Enfield motorcycle brand in United States, and now it is operating on over 60 countries. In 2015, Eicher acquired the Austrian motorcycle company that is KTM, which is known as the KTM for bike company. And now the global market, the global expansion of Eicher has been successful, and we can see the numbers. We can see the sales of accounted over 20% of the total revenue, and Eicher is well positioned in their global expansion, and this is operated in 46 countries worldwide. And next part of the presentation is carried over by my teammate Anish.
Good afternoon, everyone. So actually, the thing is, I would like to share the stakes and investment that both the companies is holding now. Before entering into a joint venture, Volvo have bought 8.4% stake in Eicher in 2008 after two companies announced a joint venture program for setting up a new company. And after that, Eicher has 54.4% of the equity and 45% is with Volvo. The next thing is that the latest model of Eicher and Volvo, when they collaborated and when they entered into a joint venture, and the third thing is what are the recent developments after entering into a joint venture of both the companies in January 2023. VSEB introduced a range of future-ready mobility solutions from the Eicher and Volvo brands at Auto Expo 2023. Under the banner for EV Visions of Smart Sustainability, the company showcased its expanded EVs and natural gas portfolios. The Eicher brand introduced India's longest 13.5-meter electricity intercity coach and the Eicher Go 2049 electric 4.9D GVC trucks. Now, I would like to call Nimit for the further topics.
Thank you so much, Anish. So
can you focus on the dilemmas of the case and the teaching goals and objectives rather than
yes, as I will discuss the future outlook of VECV. So VECV is working on bringing out 5-ton and 55-ton electric trucks, as the company plans to invest close to rupees 1,500 crores over the next 3 years to prepare itself for growing demand for EVs in India. So as you all know, ethanol and hydrogen are essential to lead decarbonization of CV industry. And under the VCV, it is also showcased that Eicher hydrogen fuel cell truck and hydrogen IC technology engine at Auto Expo 2023, which is very much useful for the future. The market share and growth, I'll say VCV's market share zoomed 17% in 2023, and it was compared to 2021, and in 2022 it was 16%, so it was a growth in 2023. VCV sold about 79,000 units vehicles, which is 40% growth, and compared to 2020 it sold approximately 17,000 units. So as Eicher Motor share jumped 1.41% of market shares. And the next slide, Tushar will say. Tushar.
Good evening all. My name is Tushar Gupta. So I'll be talking about the advantages both the firms have had since the joint venture. So in case of Eicher, this will definitely help in shaping its market presence in India and overseas market. The venture will also help both the companies fill their gaps. It will help Eicher in realigning its product line to address the changing scenarios. Since we're talking about both the present and the future, so it'll definitely help Eicher. For Volvo, this was one of the main ways to enter India. And other important one was to make India as a base for exports and for the other emerging markets. Also, Eicher's low-cost manufacturing base offered Volvo that opportunity. And in case of Volvo, it will definitely help pave the way for it to address the high-volume market of low-cost, medium, and heavy-duty trucks. So to finally conclude what our presentation and what my teammates have already told, the joint venture has been successful in modernizing and evolving the commercial transport business in India, and also recent expansion of its EV and natural gas portfolio highlights its commitment to smart sustainability. And the company's sales over the years is a testament to the success. With also the partnership has enabled both the companies to leverage their strength and complement each other to deliver effective solutions that impacts the ecosystem in a positive way. Thank you. And these were some of the references which we use for our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you
Sir,
very much, students. Thank you very much, students. Did a very
sir,
good
actually,
effort.
before concluding that, I want to mention some of the teaching objectives based on the joint venture.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Actually, sir, for the teaching objectives, we took this VECV example on how these two companies entered into their own respective new markets. And before the main thing of their success in the Indian market is due to the joint venture of Volvo groups entered into the Eicher, because the Volvo was serving technologies to them, and Eicher was supplying the body mechanisms, and the techniques and the techniques and the processes are very smooth in the Volvo group, which made a humongous impact on the commercial vehicle industry. And this also this partnership enabled the both companies and to dominate their strength in the based on their own marketing segment, in which to be precise, Volvo entered into technology is Volvo entered with the technology in Indian market, and entered their products into the foreign market. And the main data I want to highlight highlight in this joint venture is the market share has been the good number to look upon this in this case. In this Volvo, considering VECV alone, the Volvo Eicher commercial vehicle has sold over 79,623 units worldwide in 2022, which is a 40% increase in the growth rate between 2021. The 2021 sales was about 7,221 units of Volvo Eicher commercial vehicles, and this they are in this case the new thing they are focusing on is the new age technology of fuel, which is EV, as well as the natural gas consumption to move their higher heavy vehicles on their sustainable path to save the earth. This is the theme of our case study, sir. And I would like to thank Dr. Alka Maria ma'am for giving us opportunity to exhibit our case study. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You can stop sharing your screen, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Again, a very good effort from the students. I think this could be a very potential case where the insights from the mergers and acquisitions can be evaluated. I request for comments from the session chairs, please.
Yeah, you're right. That could be done. It's a case of strategy, actually. International business, of course. Probably, the students may work more on future. I mean, how do we take to the class, actually? But because there are students who probably they may not think that way. But then, if somebody helps them more, and how do we take to the class and how do we deliver it? Probably. Because Eicher has created a what we call in strategy a moat around themselves, and not many automobile companies have been able to crack that code, and their share prices has gone up like anything. They have done well. So probably if they work more on how do we take to the class and what all concepts we teach to that, because their students probably. Madam will help them.
Certainly. It can be refined. It can be refined, certainly. So we'll give the recommendations after the presentation. Before we, sorry, Dr. Maurya, your observations on the case, please.
Yeah, I was just trying to add to what Dr. Sarabhai have said. Definitely, these are the first year students, so they have not been exposed to strategic management so far. But definitely, your observation is absolutely fine. that this, in addition to being to be taken up as a case for market entry strategy by companies, they also can work upon it to also incorporate the aspect of strategic management. So I think that's a good observation. And just one thing, Sundar, in your presentation, you have mentioned that in 2022, the company were able to sold 7,221 units, and in 23, it increased to 79,623.
Ma'am,
So just look
yes,
into
ma'am.
this as to what was the precise reason for this, exponential jump in the sales of the organization.
Sure, ma'am. We will discuss further on more this topic, ma'am. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
And if they are first year students, then that's a very, very, tremendous job there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Sir.
so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Right. All right. Before we move to the next presentation, next case, I have a small request to the session chairs also. We have about 5 more presentations left, case studies left, and 3 of them are from the students. So I suppose it will not be justice because we have to finish 5 o'clock, and we have an important festival also in India. So Dr. Moria and Professor Samar Sarabhai also would like to leave on time.
Not fasting, nor is my wife. So
But still, sir, I suppose the first
no, I
aspect
understand.
is
Yeah,
important.
so
We need to give justified time to students also to present. So maybe we'll shift some of the cases to present tomorrow if both of the session chairs allow. Same time, 3 o'clock, Tashkent time, 3:30 India time, maybe 1.5 hour if
so
you
you
can
want to
spare.
shift students' presentation tomorrow, correct?
Maybe some of them, sir, some of them, and maybe if you allow, and your presentation also, because I want that case to be presented
Not sure.
a
Professor
validatory.
Rahul Meena has a session tomorrow or no? If he has
Okay.
session, he'll have a trouble then. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Rahul, Professor Rahul, what about you?
Yes,
Your-
sir. Actually, I have a class tomorrow
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
same time.
Okay. 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 So,
So
Professor
probably
Mohan,
one or two we can take, and then we can shift remaining next tomorrow.
can we take Professor Rahul Meena's presentation today and rest we can shift tomorrow, please?
That should
All
be
right,
perfect.
all right, all right, sir. So students' presentation will shift to tomorrow. And Professor Sarabhai, I request Professor Meena to present the case now.
So first of all, sorry, Rajneesh sir, for skipping your request.
No, not at all, not at all, sir. I understand all the constraints, but my concern was to give appropriate time to the students, sir.
I understand, sir. I'll not take much of the time. I'll try to
Thank
skim through as soon as possible because I also am married. I understand.
Please, sir, please.
So let me share my presentation. So first of all, good evening to all these participants, the session chairs, and Rajneesh sir. The case title is Evolution of India's Telecom Landscape, Adapting Policy Shifts and Distribution Realignment. So before trying to develop the background of the case, let me give you a brief background about myself because it has a connection over the case. So I have been, so I am Calcutta pass out, and I have been working in the industry for past 11 years before switching to academics, and I have majorly worked in telecom sector. I can personally say this is a close touch and go for me also in the situation that has been presented in the case, and it's basically a overall strategy case, but it has been culled down to distribution because of the broader horizon it presented, and it was not feasible to present everything in a single case. So this is particularly targeted towards the distribution channel and the strategies around that. So moving ahead, the contents of the case are as such. So first there is an introduction, then industry, telecom industry and the products. Then there is a discussion about distribution network and basically the issue, the turnaround point, the point which creates the dilemma is the external factor which comes into play, which will be described later, is the customer onboarding process, which we know currently as KYC, customer know your customer.
So the process change in that process, then the distributor and its bottleneck, and finally Rahul, which is the zonal sales manager of that particular area, his dilemma. And then there are certain annexures which actually support the readers to understand and analyze the case on various theoretical concepts, and finally the teaching notes. So the case is actually based in the timeline of 2014, in the year of 2014. Telecom industry is one of the fastest growing industry in India, and its distribution is unparalleled. And if any industry that can come close to that distribution is FMCG, and it almost contributes 6.5% to India's GDP. In 2014, this industry had 204 million subscribers. But due to certain kind of unethical and illegal activities, not because of telecom, but because of a loophole in the process, uh, were rising very fast, and there was a need for a business change, process change, and which led to a major change in the distribution process. And TRAI, which is the regulating authority of India in terms of telecommunication, came up with a new policy of KYC. So in this, none of the internal stakeholders had any role to play for the change. The change was imposed, but because of the change, there was the entire realignment of the process. So at 2014, there were 13 operators which were operating in telecom. The protagonist, Rahul, is working for ABC Telecom, which is a hypothetical telecommunication company. Because of this new telecommunication policy, there was uh, a distributor level, there was a need to implement this particular policy in and on ground. And because of the implementation, there was a requirement of business process change, which was KYC, customer enrollment form, which was required while you take a mobile SIM. And due to this particular change, there was a requirement to have a change in the value chain parameters, which were distribution strategy, logistic network, as well as manpower quantity and quality. So basically, the dilemma that is coming in the case, or which we have tried to narrow down in the case, is how the distributor that has sustained with the company for past many years uh, has been impacted by this policy change due to reduction in ROI. Now the dilemma is whether he should continue with the company or not, and if yes, what are the strategies he can adopt with Rahul's help so that the ROI can again be risen to a satisfactory level. So this is a general introduction of telecommunication industry, which describes the teledensity in 2014 as well as of past 3 years. And the products that are operating in that particular year are majorly three product lines, which are fixed line, wireline, mobile wireless, and internet services. Mobile wireless has two areas, prepaid and postpaid. And the products which are listed in product width and depth are actually applicable to both the areas. These are not applicable to single area. These are applicable to both the areas. So this gives an entire product mix. This case and the distributor is responsible for prepaid category only. He is not responsible for other categories. He is responsible for prepaid category only. So as below the product mix, you will see the statement which is describing the rise in unethical and illegal elements. An example of this is anybody takes a SIM, might not be on his name, can be on any other's name, and the documents can be forged, and nobody will check it in the process because of the pressure of incentives and because of the stringent targets. And this leads to various kind of activities which are non-traceable. And that was the issue for the government also. So government came with the KYC policy change, and this change
actually impacted various stakeholders. So the protagonists in these are actually two, not a single protagonist. So Rahul is a zonal sales manager who is responsible for level for distribution in his area, which is Nagaur, which is a subdivision of Rajasthan state of India. So he is responsible from level distribution level, which are described below him, as well as the flow of product. The product which are for the consumer, the product which are for BTL activities, and the product which are for regulatory activities. He is responsible for this entire distribution channel. While Ravi as a distributor, because we know he is also responsible to support Rahul, but the main thing for any distributor is ROI. So he is responsible for generating revenue. And the revenue is generated from new customer as well as old customer through SIM selling and selling customer balance, as well as various other activities which are swap, MNP, and likewise. And the last column in the diagram actually indicates how they are impacting the activities done by the distributor. So SIM selling actually increases market share, which contributes to 10% of revenue. Customer balance also increases revenue. And likewise, it has been indicated that what are the activities actually impact which of the output parameters or KPI, as we say in proper customer analysis or evaluation of distributor. So this is the major change. So previously, the old customer activation process took a total turnaround time of 10 to 14 days, in which the breakup of the activities is described here, where I have also listed down that what were the issues that were coming in the previous process. After the implementation of 2014 directive, the activities had to be completely changed from a TAT of 10 to 14 days. It had to be reduced to 24 to 48 hours. So the entire turnaround time had to be reduced by minimum of 8 days. And if this is the impact you have to create in the distribution channel, one can itself understand what will be the major changes coming into play. So the changes which were required, or actually the problem areas which came because of this particular business process change, was for distributor actually sales representatives need to be increased, as well as daily allowance for those representatives need to be increased. Quality of sales representatives need to be increased because now the forms need to be filled accurately and completely, and they need to check it and verify it. Fourthly, beat optimization need to take place because now they need to do the beat very frequently, and service frequency needs to be increased. And additional logistic supports need to be in place by the distributor. Similarly, for retailer, because the form filling needs to be done for the customer, the retailer activation will be reduced. The number of activation he does in a day. Importance of after sales service increased because the customer was impatient, and switching between brands was now more than easy for him. Retailer attrition, retailer leaving one company and going to other company was also a possible scenario. And brand image of any operator was in question, as well as the market share. So this dilemma actually converts into these questions, where Rahul, as a ZSM of Nagaur, has been approached by Ravi as a distributor who has been consistently in the top 20 out of 280 distributors all over Rajasthan. He is actually facing multiple issues because of this implementation. Now, there are multiple issues like supply of product, non-communication of company information, and TMs, which are territory manager on company payroll, are actually resonating these issues, which is lack of company support, inability in handling issues, job dissatisfaction, and leading to other ancillary issues also. So the questions that come in this case are, why is Ravi, as a rural super distributor, worried from a policy change? Secondly, how has the policy change affected entire value chain? Thirdly, there are multiple conflicts between multiple stakeholders in this case. So there are territory managers, there are sales representatives, there is company itself, there is ZSM, there is rural super distributor, there are rural distributors, and then there are retailers. So what are the type of conflicts and level of conflicts that are coming into this case? As well as what decisions or strategy Rahul can produce to eliminate or at least reduce these channel conflicts. So this is the actual question, which is after culmination of the case. And the theoretical backgrounds that can be taught through this case are value chain analysis, distribution channel conflicts and motivation, distribution channel economics. So actually the case consists all the pricing information, the quantity information, and all the numbers that can help the audiences to calculate ROI, numeric distribution, weighted distribution, and these type of channel economics as well as market share. Distribution channel strategies, which are basically territory alignment, beat optimization, time management, quota settings, and then go to market strategies as well as workforce management. So these are all the theoretical backgrounds that can be taught in this case. And the teaching goal and objectives are kept broad, which are basically identify the appropriate channel design and distribution mix because of the impact of policy change on business process and value chain of the organization. Similarly, assess the reason behind channel conflicts, examine the channel strategies and tactics, suggest the strategies to effectively help the overall chain. So these are the broad objectives for the case so that the teacher or the actually the speaker of the case can engage the audience as the audience moves into the decision or discussion. So this is all for the case, and thank you so much for giving me extra time apart from the 5 p.m.
I think some of our students are also listening to the case being presented, and I wanted actually deliberately I wanted the students to listen to this case, and then they would probably understand that how to place a protagonist, who is surrounded by the problems and the dilemma within the context, and how to relate these dilemmas with the theoretical ideas and contexts which can be delivered in the class. So I think quite a comprehensive case, Dr. Maurya, your observations, please.
Thank you, Rajni sir.
I mean, indeed, it actually is a very nice case. Can I just go back to the slide wherein you were talking about the topics that can be taken up, that for which this particular case can be taken up?
Sure, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, is this a slide you're looking for, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you're saying distribution channel conflict,
Yes, ma'am.
economics and valuation analysis, everything is making sense when we go back to the content that you have presented as part of a case. I was just confused about how it can be related with distribution channel conflict.
So, ma'am, there are multiple stakeholders in the case, which are not directly involved but indirectly impacted. And vertical conflict as well as horizontal conflict is coming into place, as well as the company itself is a stakeholder. So the last paragraph of the case, which I have not actually presented here, company is coming up with their own COCO kind of channel, because now they require a particular point at the location where the activation form can be activated in 24 to 48 hours. Previously, it was sent to the HQ. So that makes the company also a stakeholder, and these conflicts identification will actually help in devising strategy for each conflict and then finally making a new value chain.
Fine. Okay. Perfect.
Right. Thank you, Rahul sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
May I
Rajnish.
add something here? Actually, this is a case which is actually the protagonist is coincidental Rahul, so you can understand it. And we tried he tried his level best to get permission from the company. But this case was related to national security actually. So
I was
they,
coming to, in fact, if we get, NOC from
yeah.
the protagonist and the
So
telecom
they
company,
refused because of the national security. So we have to change in the last moment the name. And then when Rahul sir came to me, we were doing this case. He said, actually, I said it's a strategy case. Actually, value chain analysis starts with that, right? But then I said, let's break it in the smaller pieces first, right? And then it goes on. So we maybe someday, if we get to present, it goes on till the revamping of the whole value chain which we teach in the strategy. Right. Anyway, but then we decided let's first stick to the distribution. Otherwise, it will become too big for,
right. So before we end today's session, I would first of all apologize to the students to whom we cannot take the presentations today because of the paucity of the time. And I would request both the session chairs if you can be available for hour and a half tomorrow at 3 o'clock Uzbekistan time and 3:30 IST. We will continue with the leftover presentations. We have 4 presentations from students and 1 presentation from the faculty members of MIT University Tashkent. Before we close, I also share a very good and prosperous news with all of you that today at the inaugural of the conference, this conference was the majorly engineering conference with the IEEE Kazakhstan section, but we clubbed it with our international case conference. And we were gifted with one decision by our Honorable Group Vice Chancellor, sir, that we have opened formally a case center at MIT University Tashkent, where we will pool up the resources from various parts of the world. And we would be working very closely with the industry in Uzbekistan because it's a very developing market. And there are various sort of issues in the sectors where the industry faces. So we would be developing cases, and we are hoping that the second edition of AUT Genesis, we would be able to contribute much more cases in collaboration. So that's indeed a very good news for us, and we thank to our Honorable Group Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Dr. Gurinder Singh, for gifting us this opportunity. And having said this, I mean, it's request to all of my dear colleagues to be part of us with this case center and help us to develop good cases.
So congratulations, Dr. Rajneesh.
Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
All gift happens only once there is some effort seen by people. So you must have shown some efforts. That's why this gift.
So with this, I think we will end the session today. Thank you very much, each and everyone present here. Professor N.V. Verghese with us, also with us here, who was the guest of honor for the conference. He was listening to all the cases which have been presented. And I think some of the cases are very relevant. I think the case from the agriculture sector indeed was a field-based case, which was very, very relevant in today's context and time. So thank you very much again, everyone. We'll meet tomorrow again at 3 o'clock Tashkent time and 3:30 Indian time with the same Zoom link. So Zoom link will not change. The Zoom link will be the same, right? Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Rajneesh. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Alka, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And good day. We'll meet tomorrow.